Hi there, I'm the Extraordinary Tourist and welcome to episode 2 of my 3 Cattails studio diary. In this episode I'm going to continue working on these 3 artworks here, and I'll get started on the next layers of paint and we'll just see how far I get. So in terms of how I'm going to colour these, I originally thought perhaps I'd keep them fairly warm images and do the backgrounds in a sort of a red-orange colour. But then I had a look through this book, which is TET's Cat Sampler book, and if you're interested in getting a copy of one of these you can buy them on my website. And you'll see it's got a few samples of the various cat paintings that I've done over the years. But I was looking through this and I saw this particular artwork. Let's make sure I got that in shot. There we go. I was thinking perhaps maybe I'll loosely base these artworks on this colour scheme and go with a sort of purpley pink background, and possibly the my traditional orange Happy Cat, Jack cats if you like. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for, but chances are it won't look a lot like that. The colours won't be exact because just mixing colours never are. So what I've mixed up a sort of a blue-purple colour that I'm going to start putting on my backgrounds, and we'll see how it goes. So I just might get a bigger brush so I can spread that around a lot quicker. And I need to do this quickly because I usually put like a lighter colour towards the centre of the canvas, and sort of from there out I'll do like a lighter colour so you get this impression that the cats are, or the image is glowing a little bit, even though it doesn't look like it's glowing, but it sort of goes light to dark, light in the centre and dark towards the edges, so that these colours kind of frame the painting. But I need to do it quickly because I'm going to try and sort of mix my lighter colour in with the darker one before it dries, so it'll mix on the canvas itself. That's kind of enough of that there, I think. Again, keeping it all really loose, not too fussy about it. Hit it with some, get some white into this colour. I'm not too fussy about it, getting an exact colour. We just go with whatever comes up and see how it works out. So see, I'm just mixing that there, and I'm probably pretty stuffed if I need my dark colour again, but it doesn't matter. You can always mix some more and what have you. See, still keeping it all very loose, not too worried about going over the edges on things. And the hard part about this is because I've got 3 paintings, it's sort of mixing up enough colour that'll go across all 3 paintings so that you get, well, so that I get a unified series all using the same colour scheme. It's also hard trying to work quickly across 3 canvases because I need my backgrounds to stay fairly, want my background paint to stay fairly damp, so that I can now grab my water and use my water to try and blend it all together so that some of that darkness blends in with the light colour that I've done, and I get more of a gradient than one single colour, which is very hard to do sometimes with acrylics because they dry very quick, especially where I'm working right now, where I've got like a bit of a breeze coming through the door that's drying them out as well. If I get some water on there, that'll help keep them damp longer. You can see now I've got the sort of purpley backgrounds, but it's not particularly inspiring or very bright. It's actually a fairly dull purple. So what I'm going to try and do is bring back a bit more brightness to it by adding in more blue, and the paint on the canvas itself is still very wet and watery at the moment, so this now should be a bit more easier to blend in because I've actually put in a lot more water on there and it's not drying out as fast. See, it's starting to blend in a bit more. Hopefully it will be slightly brighter colour. I also need to try and get it to blend more with that purple, because whilst I do like to see brush strokes and stuff, I don't like brush strokes to be particularly obvious. It's just needs to have a painterly feel about it rather than being able to see all the brush strokes that I make. So I think that one's come together quite well, and that with the cat being orange on the blue, that should really pop out of that background fairly well. Okay, so as far as mixing paints go, I'm no expert or genius at mixing colours, but if you know your sort of basic colour mixes, like sort of yellow and blue make green, red and blue make purple, and what is it, yellow and red gets orange, and so on. You can sort of work your way out from there and sort of get through a whole range of colours just with that basic knowledge. You sort of start to look at colours and you sort of think, what primary colours would I need to make that, and how much of each do I think I would need, and then depending on what you want to do with your colour, if you want it to be translucent, then you generally don't put too much white into it, because white enables you to paint over colours rather than have translucent colours. So here you see I'm mixing up an orange because these cats are going to be orange, and that's not quite the orange that I need. And with the colouring on these cats, I've painted sort of my orange and black striped cats many times before, so it's not too hard to know what colours I need when it comes to making these cats. But you can see there it's just yellow and red to get my orange that I'm going to be using to paint the cat, so that's about it. And as I said, I'm pretty ripe for knowing which parts of the cat are what colour, so just get stuck right into it. And again, I don't need to be too careful, although I don't want to go too far outside the edges of the cat's body. Otherwise it'll just sort of start to look a bit too messy and I'll have to do a lot of correcting, but I know generally where this colour's going to go. And yep, you can see that I'm painting that some of those dark areas that I painted with the blue are showing through. So that's how I know when I come to paint the stripes and that those areas will already be partially dark in colour. And these particular cats had fairly wide tails because that's partly the theme of the painting, is the tails on the cat. It's all about sort of the largeness of their tails. I'll just go to a bit smaller brush because I'm getting a bit more detailed now. So I can still be messy, relatively messy on the inside lines of the cat, but just where it hits the background, the outside lines, I've got to start taking a little bit of extra care so as not to cause myself a lot of problems later on trying to fix where I've gone outside of my edges too much. So that's that cat pretty much done. I'm going to go on do the other two and I'll show you the finished results so far. So here are the three cat images with the orange painted onto the cats, all done. That's pretty much the second stage of the paintings finished, where I sort of, if you like, block in the major colour schemes. You're probably sort of thinking those cats look particularly bright in that shade of orange, but I can assure you once I start getting the details and the black stripes onto these cats, that'll tone them down just a little bit. But I do want them to be quite bright because it sort of adds to the sort of fun and whimsical nature of the cats in general, and so that's a lot of the reason why I go for the really bright orange and the bright colours. So that's where I'm going to leave this part of my studio series today. I'm going to let these dry overnight and we'll come back to them possibly tomorrow. Ordinarily I would probably keep going and start painting my details on now, but I want to keep these studio diaries fairly short and reasonably easy for me to get them edited together and put online for you to see. So if you're watching this and you're looking around for part 3 and can't find it, as with part 2, probably means I haven't filmed it yet, so just give me a day or two and it should be up there. Until next episode, we shall see you later. Bye for now.